Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Mortgage Coach Tuesday morning coaching call. Every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Pacific, we're here to connect as a community of like-minded, like-valued mortgage professionals and deliver the absolute industry's best sales meeting. My name is Dave Savage. I am the CEO of Mortgage Coach, and it is an honor to serve all the loan officers that join this call, you know, the 5% best in America, and all the home buyers that are out there looking for homes, borrowers, and thousands of realtors. More and more, we're seeing that great Mortgage Coach loan officers are integrating their amazing mortgage experience for the realtor and helping them save time and improve conversion rates. So again, highly recommend if you haven't already connected with us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube page. After this call, we will record this. It will be posted in the YouTube page, so check it out. And if you missed last week's call, we had a great loan officer share different things that he's doing, Mr. Tim Lamb, and we had a great sales leader, guru, someone from outside of our industry, someone that specializes in helping B2B sales, really fine-tune Tim's emails and how he was selling and communicating. So it was a great call. If you haven't watched it, check it out. It's in the YouTube page. So a couple things I want to pull out of the call before I bring in Jeremy FORCIER, our special guest, and Michael Harrington. By the way, Jeremy, welcome to the call.
Thanks, Dave. Super stoked to be here.
Right on. And Michael, I will bring you in to share a success story with just one more minute, brother.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So do want to give you guys a big heads up and reminder that in our Mortgage Coach community and LinkedIn, there will be scripts, notes, and templates. So following up to this call, we're going to try to take some of the practical things that Jeremy's doing and Michael's doing and just give you some great notes and scripts. So stay tuned for that. If everybody on this call has not watched this video by Todd Duncan, he created an Edge video just walking you through his total cost script, both how to use it with realtors, how to use it with home buyers. You're missing it. I mean, it's just a couple minutes. Make sure that you've watched this. It's easy. You can always just put Todd Duncan into your mobile app, or you can click on the link from Facebook. Jeremy, did you watch this video?
Yeah, I sure did.
And what did you think of it, brother?
Well, I thought it was great. I mean, it's definitely a way to build trust, gain trust quicker, create more opportunity, and look fantastic while doing it. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's so easy to do as well.
Yeah, so make sure you check it out. What about you, Michael? Have you checked it out yet?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, Todd's one of the first guys that used video messaging for, to get a hold of us loan officers 10 years ago. So he's just amazing on video.
Yeah, he did a great job, and I just thought his script was right on. So very practical advice. Make sure you check it out. Also, we have Jeffrey Gittimer, who did a 3-minute, why you should be using Mortgage Coach. So if you're already providing an Edge report to every one of your home buyers, you don't need to watch it. You're already there. But if you're only doing this with some of your clients, or if you're new to this call and you're not doing it at all, you got to watch this from Jeffrey Gittimer, one of the nation's best leaders on sales and sales strategy, just walking you through how he thinks Mortgage Coach delivers trust. And so, again, if you're not providing it with each and every client, you need to. And if you're on this call and you're a trainer and you lead a team and you have new people coming in, it's just a great tool to both inspire people to deliver better advice and how to do it with Mortgage Coach and to get them to do it every time. Jeremy, have you seen this one?
I have not.
You got to check it out. I know you're a Gittimer fan. So
it's my favorite.
Yeah, so worth watching. It's just 3 minutes long, actually 2 minutes and 44 seconds, what Jeffrey Gittimer thinks about Mortgage Coach. All right, so that set the table. Our first guest is Michael Harrington. Michael is a great Mortgage Coach member. He is with OnQ Mortgage. He did a success story at one of his corporate events recently, has a lot of passion for Edge. Michael, I think this is the first time you've been on a coaching call leading with me. If you wouldn't mind just giving everybody a little bit of your backstory, what market you're in, a little bit about your mortgage practice. Obviously, I have up here why you use Edge, and then we'll get into the success story.
No problem. I actually started using Mortgage Coach when it first came out years and years ago. it was so complicated back when I first got in the industry that I couldn't understand it. So when you look at it today and just the simplicity yet the professionalism of it, I think you've done a fantastic job of making it exactly what us as loan officers need for our clients. I just wanted to say that first. But in regards to history, I've been doing this for 18 years. I've been in the mortgage industry that long, pretty much since high school, literally straight out of high school into the mortgage industry. So I'm not very old. I'm only 36, about to turn 37 tomorrow. And, you know, when I first got in this industry, yeah, thanks. When I first got in this industry, I didn't know what I was doing. As most people that getting into it now are realizing, is that there's really not a good solid training for this industry. So you kind of have to do the baptism by fire. And when you have tools like Mortgage Coach to lead the way, for those that are newer in the industry that are on this call, which as of last year's mastermind, we found out there's not a lot of new people in the industry anymore. But for you more experienced people, if you haven't truly tapped into the full power of Mortgage Coach to generate more business, but also keep more business in your pipeline, then hopefully some of the things that we share today can embolden that. You want me to jump straight into what we're on the call for?
Before we jump straight into your,
I want to point. Hey, I want to point something. I want to point something out here real quick with Michael. I mean, you just said something that you know, really sparked a thought for me, and it's that you know, we don't have new people coming into this industry, you know, right now. But here's the reality: is that we all are brand new in every new market, and I think that that's the biggest challenge that we're seeing, especially with, for lack of a better term, the old dogs in the industry, is really understanding what they need to be doing from a communication and technology standpoint to stay ahead of the curve. So you're right, we aren't physically generating too many new people, but the reality is that this is like a new world in mortgages, especially even in the last couple years. Forget the last 5 years, even in the last 18 months, when the markets change. You know, we all become kind of new to the industry again, and it comes down to who can adapt and execute the quickest with the easiest form of communication and getting people to trust and work with us. So just remember that, everyone on the call, is that it's always a new market, and you always have to be learning and executing new ideas and strategies. So anyhow, carry on.
Yeah, in regards to the market, you just mentioned markets. We're in the Houston market. That's where I'm at. Houston's been kind of, and all of Texas, I should say, has been insulated pretty well from the ups and downs that the rest of the country experienced. We haven't had a huge decrease in prices of homes. We didn't have like a 30% drop like Nevada and California, Maryland, Oregon. We had maybe a 3 to 4% drop for a few years, and then it bounced right back. So due to oil and gas and medical, our city is pretty well insulated. So with that increase, I mean, I used to think the grass was greener on the other side, being like your side, Dave, where you guys are at in California, and even like states like New York and Oregon and Florida, where prices were just booming. And I used to say, well, man, if I moved to California, I could get those multi-million-dollar deals like Mark Cohen, the #1 producer in the nation. But what I realized as I was sitting here in Houston about 5 months ago was that we have those size houses here too. They're in the inner loop. They're closer to downtown. And I said to myself, how do I target those real estate agents and those clients? And that's when I started using things like Mortgage Coach to really go after the jumbo market.
Love it. So, I mean, part of your success story and why I asked you to come here is you're using Edge in very specific ways. While there's a lot of different loan comparisons that loan officers use, and I know, Jeremy, you do all of these, you were really focused on purchase options in the 30-year versus 5-year arm, and right, when there's an option to do a refi. So why don't you tell everybody how much your loan amounts have gone up since you've implemented this strategy, and walk us through this TCA that I have on the screen so that everybody understands, one, you had a vision, and two, how you implemented that vision.
No problem. So last quarter, my average loan size was about 185. If you were to do an average over the last 2 years, looking back even 10 years ago, I did this a few days ago. My average price point 10 years ago was 120. So I know for some of you in California, you're thinking, how outhouse can you buy for that? But in Houston, the prices here are a little bit less expensive than they are there. So I realized I need to go after a higher market in order to keep the same number of units, same number of staff members, but increase my pay. So what I did is I started looking at ways to increase my target audience. So I actually had a title company print off the top 200 real estate agents on the west side of Houston, top being top producers, top units. And we started calling on those people instead of just mass blasting or going to teaching events for realtor, open houses, stuff like that. We actually started targeting certain activities to generate higher-end clients. So I'm going to give a list real quick just of some of the events that we do, and I'll tell you some things that we stopped doing. We started going, I had never played golf before, Dave, before last year, but I went to a place called Top Golf, which is like a three-story, very posh golf range that a lot of high-end people hang out at. I immediately bought a platinum membership there, and it has generated a lot of business by bringing realtors and builders together at that location. So I started playing golf. I go to golf events. I probably attend six, just this past month, I went to 6 different golf events. If you look at the difference between a golf event with realtors versus a teaching class event at one of the real estate offices, you will find about 80% of the people that go to the golf event are the top producers, and the people that are in the class, I hate to say it, but either usually the new people that are just waiting for lunch. So, I mean, I'm not knocking the idea. Some people do it, but if you're going to go after higher-end stuff like golf events, polo, fundraisers, car clubs like Lamborghini, Ferrari, art gallery openings, museum exhibit openings, doctor or attorney networking group lunches that you could sponsor, getting top realtors together with top builders at a golf event, client appreciation parties that you do for either your past clients or your top 5 or 10 salespeople. You hold an event at Maggiano's or Perry Steakhouse or something like that. And then you get a professional look, which is what Mortgage Coach is for what we're doing. So I'm going to tell you real quickly what I do with Mortgage Coach in the event in the jumbo scenario that you got in front of you. I do 2 things. The first is to compare myself and my products against the competitor's fee sheet. So even if they don't give me a competitor, like I had 2 deals this morning, they never once were even shopping me. But instead of allowing them to shop, I'm going to shop for them. So I'm actually ahead of time going to tell them, look, I'll pull something from Chase and put a Chase comparison up there as well. But let's say they tell me I've got 4 fee sheets in front of me, Michael, can you send me a fee sheet? I'll tell them, well, I'll tell you what, instead of sending you a fee sheet, why don't you send me the best fee sheet that you like, best one that you have. You send me that, and I'll do a comparison of 3 of my products against one of those other products. And what that does is instead of being 1 of 5, which means I have a 20% chance of making it through their test, I'm now 75% of what they see. Because I'm only going to show one scenario, being, let's say, a big bank. We'll just mention a big bank. So a big bank would be one scenario. The other 3 scenarios are my scenarios. So we do a 5-1, a 5-5, and maybe a 30-year fix or a 15-year fix. So now the 4 scenarios they're looking at on Mortgage Coach, only 1 is the competitors. The other 3 are mine. So now I have a 75% chance instead of a 20% chance. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Makes total sense. Makes total sense.
So then in regards to comparing my own products, which these 2 products are our own products. We've got a Jumbo Fix 30 and a Jumbo 5-5. What I'm trying to show them, even though they really weren't interested in the fixed product, I'm trying to show them obviously how much interest they save in that 5-year time frame, which you can see at the bottom left-hand side. And that's probably what I'm explaining in the video too. The hardest thing sometimes with the video is you have to tell them where to put the video in the beginning. So in the beginning I usually say, okay, move your video over here because I want to explain these other 3 quadrants. Okay, now move my video here. So it's kind of fun because I'll be talking to them and I'll point in the direction. Sometimes I'm pointing in the wrong direction, but I'll usually point in the direction of where I want them to look. But when you look at this total cost analysis versus looking at 3 or 4 fee sheets in front of them, not only the professionalism of this sheet, but now the ease of using it. I mean, I'm sure, Dave, you'll admit, like the old, 10 years ago, it was great for some of the more savvy clients, but it was very difficult for a non-savvy client to really look at these numbers and make sense. But you look at this sheet now, and it's so easy to look at and understand and interpret with one glance as to what the difference is between either you and a competitor or even your own products would be.
Love it. So how much have you increased your loan amount over the past 12 months? Is there a
that's the exciting part, yeah. So this is the good news. So we've increased our loan size 41%. We've gone from, like I said, 180 up to 290. We have now increased our jumbos in the last quarter from 0% jumbos that I was doing before to now 30% of my businesses. 30% of my units are jumbo. If I was to actually do loan size, I'd have to say 50% is now jumbo.
Nice. Well, congrats on the success. I really want to bring you back into a call where I can feature you and we can break down your mortgage practice. Looks like
Sure.
you're doing a lot of amazing things. And thanks for taking the time to come on the call and share how you have increased your loan size and improved your production.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, yeah. So, Michael, stay on the call. Feel free to co-host now as we bring Jeremy in and provide some color the way Jeremy did, or ask some questions. Let's find out what Jeremy's doing and pull out the gold. Hey, Jeremy, anything you want to say before we transition?
I would just like to say that, like, the opportunity right now is sickening. It's so incredible how much opportunity there is right now in the marketplace. People want to be led, and that's something that I tell myself on a daily basis to remind myself, people want to be led, people want to be led, people want to be led, because they do. People really want to be led in the market like this, and really always. So agents want to be led because they don't have enough listings to close the amount of homes that they want right now. Consumers want to be led because they're tired of getting bait and switch by offers, when the reality is that all of us have pretty much the same thing to offer people from a commoditization standpoint. Everyone wants to be led down to a path of, how can I get what I want? And we have a very unique opportunity right now to show people, here is how you can get what you want, and if you do these things, you will succeed, and you will become very valuable to a community when you can take that standpoint. And that's really what I'm 100% focused on, not only right now, but for the remainder of the year, is how can I be the most valuable to my consumers, partners, people that I do work with, people that I want to work with, people that I don't want to work with. How can I be most valuable to all of these people to help them get what they want, and in turn, you're going to get what you want just by default. So I'd like to just stage the call in that mindset and mind frame, and just be open to working a little harder, working a little smarter, and making a lot more money than you are right now.
Love it. Well, you've always been a great leader every time you come in. I look forward to getting into some of the specific tactics that you're doing. Just want to make the point, when I asked Jeremy, why are you using Mortgage Coach, he just top of mind, and it was all about teaching and all about driving more efficiency. So, Jeremy, I just want to get out there. I mean, what percentage of your clients are you providing total cost analysis, and what percentage are you providing a video?
So I'm providing a total cost analysis to 100% of all clients' leads that come through the system. Video, I'm probably right around 90%. The only reason I'm not at 100 is that every once in a while I will be doing these at like midnight, and I am so tired and I just sound like crap. But it should be 100. That's just an excuse, a limiting belief. But it's probably right around 100%. Everyone gets a spreadsheet. Everyone gets a web presentation. And number two would be right around 90%. But we shoot for 100 on the videos as well.
Cool. Well, when I had asked you earlier, what are some of the most common loan comparisons? I mean, I've seen your rent versus own. I've seen your why buy now. I know you do points analysis, PMI analysis, but you said your purchase options is your just your wheelhouse. Everybody
Right.
is doing those purchase options. So real quick, if you could just share, what are your purchase option worksheets, so everybody has a clear understanding of your most common Mortgage Coach scenario, and then we can break into some of the strategies and ideas that you're doing right now to win more realtor referrals.
Sure. So my two most common scenarios, or I should say three most common. Number one is someone who is getting pre-approved, and I am just showing them what the differences are in $25,000 or $50,000 increments of purchase price. So that would be what I call like a budgeting analysis versus approval analysis. There's so many times that, especially with first-time home buyers, making them understand, congratulations, you've been pre-approved for a purchase of $500,000. Well, hey, if that doesn't line up with what they want their monthly payments to be, you better, know what that is, so that you can show them here's where you want to buy, but really here's where you want your payments to be. And once again, that's an education tactic, and it allows them to explore, where do I really want to be? Do I want to go to 500,000? Do I want to stay at 350? So by showing them $50,000 increments, you can show them the cost of money and what they're going to get for that money. And why do I do that? A, it allows them to come to the conclusion themselves. B, really helps the real estate agents not waste any of their time showing homes that these people ultimately will back out of if they get into contract. So I'm going to say that one more time, because it's actually really important, and my agents love this. And here's what I tell the agents that I work with and the new ones that I'm forming relationships with. I say, hey, Mr. Agent, so here's the thing. As we move forward in our relationship, you're always going to be included on these pre-approval video presentations that I do for all of our buyers. So when you see it, I'm going to give them different options so that they can see what the purchase price range is, and they can also understand where they want to be in that purchase price range. You see, the reason I do that is that I don't want you wasting your time showing these consumers homes that ultimately they don't feel comfortable buying. We all know that people go out, they start looking at homes, they get emotionally charged, and they're really fired up, and then they want to write an offer. But if there is a disconnect between their emotional state and their fiscal responsibility, ultimately we're going to have problems, and we are not going to be able to wow that client. And so that's what I tell Dave to the agents. And then the agents love it, because guess what? They can have that conversation now with the client as well. Hey, I saw Jeremy sent you over that stuff. What'd you think of it? Was 500, within the budget, or should we revise what we're looking at more into the 425 range? So very, very powerful. So that's one that I'm doing, is a purchase price range, almost like a budget, a home budget analysis. The second one that I do the most would be points versus no points, real simply. So someone is in contract on a $200,000 condo, and I want to show them, here is an option with 5% down, 10% down, and 20% down, or here is an option they want to put 20% down with paying a point, paying no points, or getting a lender credit of 1 point towards your closing cost. So that would be probably the second most widely used analysis that I do. And once again, to Michael's point earlier on the call, I'm just allowing them to shop the rates within what I'm providing them, okay? And that is really, 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 really powerful, is giving them choices. You give them one choice, which is, by the way, what most big banks do, or what most not so great loan officers or salespeople, in my opinion, do, is they assume here is the best choice based on what I found. This is the best choice, and they provide that to them. Well, that's not how you're going to win more sales incrementally at all. When you do that, you're just going to work with a very smaller sliver of the pie of the people that think like that and that automatically either A, trust you, or they just weren't going to shop you to begin with, or they didn't do any research. But that's a very small of the pie these days with the amount of information that's available online. So we create a bunch of different options for them. And once again, what that does is it allows people to formulate questions, digest information, ask you questions, and you look like a pro, because at the end of the day, it's not our job to tell anyone what to do. It's to give them the options so that we can talk through what's going to work best for them and their ultimate plan with this mortgage and home. So that's the second most one that I use. Third would be like the one you see up here, is just a refinance quote. And the jumbo refinances are great right now. I'm not doing a lot of jumbo purchases, but the jumbo refis I'm doing a handful of, which is nice. And just giving them different options on programs and seeing which program is going to work best for you. And once again, that's an upfront question that you're asking these people, is that, hey, do you have an idea of what type of program you like? If they say, I'm strictly want a 15-year fix, you say, great. If they say, I don't really know, I would like to see what's available, fantastic. I would love to show you all the options that are available to you. So it's just, once again, asking a great question, getting some information, and then providing them what they want.
Beautiful. So folks, I hope you connected the dots on that, because if you want to compete with the big banks who are doing the majority of loans, the online lenders, they're just providing rate quotes and fee worksheets. Providing options is how you differentiate yourself, and providing options with Mortgage Coach Eds is not only how you differentiate yourself, but it's how you show a realtor that you've got something special to deliver. And it's not just words coming out of your mouth. You can back it up when you're having that meeting. So Jeremy, you did a great job. Last time we did this call, I pulled out this, I think it was like 4 minutes and 43 seconds, these 5 questions that you ask every single realtor. So we're not going to go through them again, because, by the way, this is in our YouTube channel. Go up there, look, Jeremy's 5 questions. These are the 5 questions. Where are you having the most success today in the market? What are your biggest pain or challenges? What are the top 3 things you need to do? What are your current lender relationships doing that could be better? And then you're just making this awesome promise. And I know you and I have talked about this a lot and in prep for this, but one of the promises that you're making is how you're going to help improve the realtor's conversion rate, and then how you're being more efficient and effective. So before we get into some of the open house strategies and how you're delivering edge experiences in realtor offices, just kind of walk through. I would love to hear in your words how you're making this promise, and just get a feel for your scripting, just to help loan officers make this kind of a part 2 to that last call that we did, Jeremy.
Sure. So, more than anything, gosh, we could break this into like 40 different, ways and steps to do this, but I'll keep it really, really simple. So number 1 is, if you aren't cold calling weekly, you're losing. I want everyone to understand that. If you're not cold calling weekly, you're losing. We have to be prospecting new people every single week that we do not know. You're either growing or you're dying. There is no in-between. Lou Holtz said it. People either bring you up or they bring you down. There is no such thing as staying constant. So you have to be constantly prospecting. So I have a lot of people ask me, Dave, all the time on a monthly, weekly, daily basis. I get emails from people. So I hate cold calling, Jeremy. Like, how do you do it? Listen, I don't like cold calling either. But if you make a game out of it and you can make it not cold, and you know what you're going to say already, then it's a lot easier to get the appointment, okay? So you have to make the calls, and your outcome of your call should just be one of these 3 things, which will make it not cold, I promise you. So you just want one of 3 outcomes. This is not a 15-minute phone call. This is like a 2-minute phone call. So 3 outcomes would be, number 1, you are going to try to schedule an appointment with them, okay? Number 2, you are going to invite them to something. Or number 3, you are going to ask them a question and then try to give them information on that question that you ask. So those are the only 3 things. Well, there's really 4 for me, and ask for a referral. But when you're cold calling, you're not asking for a referral, obviously. So keep in mind as I frame this, so when you call, and let's say one of the outcomes is to schedule an appointment. All right, Dave? So, Dave, you're the realtor, and I'm cold calling you, okay?
Ring, ring.
Ring, ring. Yeah, hi. Is this Dave?
Yeah, this is Dave. How you doing?
Hey, Dave. It's Jeremy Forcier from People's Home Equity. How are you today?
Okay. What's up?
Cool. Hey, nothing at all. Hey, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to touch base with you because next Thursday I'm throwing an event where we're going to have a speaker. His name's Dave Savage. He's an industry leader, and we're going to have him actually come in and show realtors how they can convert up to 50% more leads from their open homes. I would love to have you there. If you're interested in coming and possibly closing an extra 5 to 10 transactions this year, I would love to see it. Can you make it?
Well, you're about the 5th realtor or loan officer I've heard from this week telling me to come to events. I don't know. I'm pretty busy. Why should I come to this one?
Well, here's the thing, is that I think that where a lot of loan officers go wrong is, you don't know me, I don't know you. But I do know this. I know that you're a top agent here in the area, and I know that I am the top agent in Sonoma County. So I think good people need to know good people. I won't waste your time. If you don't want to come to this event, what I'd really like to do is just schedule a 15-minute appointment with you, see if I can learn a little bit about your business, and if I can have the opportunity to help you close more business this year, I would love that opportunity.
Well, I think this is the 8th time you called me. You got me on the phone. Yeah, I'm game.
So here,
Sorry for being tough, Jeremy.
Tell me no.
No, I'm just too busy, man. I know I've heard from you, but I just can't do it.
I hear you. I am too busy as well. So here's what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to shoot you an email with some times that work over the next 3 weeks. Maybe we can connect on one of those times. But if you need anything else in the meantime, feel free to give me a call. Hop right on it for you.
If nothing else, Jeremy, you made a brand impact of your time.
Hey, Jeremy.
What was that?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Michael Harrington. Hey, was that I'm just saying, is that a Josh Sigmund script?
No, it's just a.
No, that's your. Okay.
Just a script that I make so many of these calls now. That wasn't even a script.
Yeah.
I was just role playing.
Wow,
yeah, that was just off the top.
Okay, because it sounded a lot like the core training, which is amazing. I love what the core has been teaching, but the way that you handled him in regards to taking him from 1 denied, 2 denied, 3 denied, and then still left open that window, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely, it can be seen as I'm in the core. I've been a coach in the core for the last 4 years. That can be a core tactic. It's really just an old school sales tactic, honestly.
Okay.
Jeffrey Gitomer talks about it in a lot of his old books. He tells this story about where he was going door to door in New York, and he was trying to sell rugs, Jeffrey Gitomer. And so he's cold knocking, not cold calling. He's going to places, knocking on the manufacturer's door and saying, hey, I sell these awesome rugs. I would love to sell them to you. We can work out a great deal. And he would just tell me how he'd get the door shut on his face over and over again. And then so what he did is that on this one time, on the 5th one that he got the door shut in his face, the guy said no and just shut the door on his face in true Jersey fashion, right? And so Jeffrey knocked on the door again, and the guy opened it, and he goes, what do you want? He goes, well, does that mean like, no, not right now, no, come back later, no, you don't need these type of rugs, do you need a different type of rugs? And the guy was so puzzled, and he said, no, it just means no, like I don't want your solicitation. He goes, listen, I have learned that once I get 5 no's, I usually get 1 yes. So you have told me no 4 times, so would you mind just referring me to someone else because I think I might get a yes on this next one? And he made the guy laugh and got his business. And I have never forgot that. And the reason I share that story with you is that what I just did with Dave, listen, I get told no all day. I get the brush off. I get the I'm too busy. I get the, hey, I've worked with someone for 19 years. I've heard it all, right? Who cares? Don't take yourself that seriously and have a little fun with it. I think that if you can have a little fun with it, it's going to take you a long way in your lead generation and in your relationships. So anyhow, back to actually getting the appointment. You have to be making the calls. I was just using that as an example, Dave, to show everyone that you are going to get no a lot, and it's okay. But you're calling with something in mind already, so it's really not a cold call. If you can trick your mind into that, you're inviting them to something, right?
Well, Jeremy, and also I think everybody needs to realize Jeremy has extraordinary confidence because he delivers extraordinary value. And so if what you deliver to a home buyer, if when you meet with a realtor, you are not crystal clear that you can ask some great questions, and out of that, you can wow them with something of value, he's not going to have the same passion and confidence. If you feel like you're just another blah, blah, blah loan officer telling him that I've been in business for 20 years, we have great rates, we have a great platform, I'm available 24/7, I know how to get loans closed on time. Again, that's blah, 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 blah. If that is your value proposition, you're just not going to have the same confidence that Jeremy does. So Jeremy, I just want to make sure everybody realizes what comes from within you is because you know when you get up to bat, you're going to have amazing value, and no matter what they throw at you, you've got something to say, and you've got a great promise at the end of it, which is also, unique. You're not just a typical loan officer. You're a partner that's going to help them grow their business. So let's do this, because I want to make sure we get into the open house strategies. I want to make sure we get into how you're delivering value at Realtors. Let's get into your promise. So you got the meeting, you did your interview. How are you making this promise? And then let's talk about that tangibly, and then let's transition into open houses and realtor offices.
Sure. So real simply, there's two parts to the promise. The first part takes you to be really, really, really present. So that means that it's active listening when you're asking those questions, those 5 questions, okay? You can't just be thinking about your close, all right? You will completely fumble the whole meeting if you're thinking about what you're going to sound like, what your close is going to be. You can't do that, because the first part of the promise is reiterating what their answers were to these questions. Okay, so for example, I'm just going to use Dave as an example, all right? So on number 1, so Dave, I think it's great you're having a ton of success with listings right now, especially in right-sizing your clients. I definitely see that as an opportunity in the marketplace. It's great to know that you're taking advantage of it. Biggest pain and challenge is inventory, I know. It's like it's the big elephant in the room, but I think you're doing all the right things in trying to create more of that inventory, and I think I have some ways that I can help you with that. Top 3 things you need from a lender. What I really heard from you, Dave, was communication, communication, communication. All right, pause. Just so you guys know, literally that's the only answer to that question. I don't care what they say. That is the answer. If they tell you it's, oh, things are slow, or, oh, their appraisals aren't good, really at the end, or, I don't ever know what's going on, right? It's almost always goes back to communication. So I always answer with that the same way every time. So Dave, it seems like I understand communication, communication, communication. I am so passionate about that. I think it's great, and you obviously already work with a great lender because you're a great realtor. And then what I do, everyone, is I summarize that and I say, listen, I am looking right now to partner, with 5 to 10 more agents over the next 12 months, and I would love for you to be one of those partners. Now, I understand you have relationships, and I don't expect you just to refer me all of your business because we met and we had a nice meeting. But I would like to show you exactly how my process works, how we communicate with your clients, and how we can generate more referrals and help you manage all of those leads that come in to create more transactions for you from that. So all I'm asking is that your next 2 transactions, we have the opportunity to show you how that works within our process, because ultimately at the end of the day, Dave, the only way we're going to know if it's a good fit for us to work together and that it's profitable for one another is that if we actually try it. So I'm not expecting to be number 1, but I would love the opportunity on your next 2 transactions just to show you how it works and to see if we can form a long relationship.
Boom. So by the way, I've got some of our success coaches listening to this. Hopefully you guys are taking notes. I mean, Jeremy just crushed some great scripting. Let's make sure we document some of that scripting and bring it to all the Mortgage Coach members in our upcoming trainings. Maybe even have something for this Thursday's call. Yeah, that was powerful, Jeremy. So folks, again, a lot of these calls will be posted in YouTube. I highly recommend you listen to some of that scripting. We're going to take some of that scripting and document it so that we can deliver that to you guys as a Mortgage Coach group. Jeremy, I do want to get a feeling. I know you're doing a lot of open houses. Anybody who's on this call, if you are working open houses, let us know. I want to do a quick survey. Let us know if you are working open houses with Realtors. By the way, Jeremy, any guesses on what the percentage is? And everybody, I need everybody to vote. I'm only at 25% of you have voted. Let's get it above 70%. Jeremy, any guesses?
I would guess 25% or less.
Are saying yes. So by the way, we're at 55%. Come on, guys, let's get it to 70%. Are you working open houses? And here goes. The answer is 43% said yes, 57% said no. So there is no right answer there. Jeremy and I want to know. The other thing I want to know before we get into this very tactical conversation, because this is some of the gold that Jeremy's going to share, not that he hasn't already shared a lot, is have you ever used Edge in a realtor office? Have you ever whipped out your laptop, or plugged it into their monitor or their, big screen in a realtor office and actually done a TCA in a realtor office? Have you ever done this? Yes or no? 41% of you voted. Come on, let's get the votes in. Jeremy, any guesses how everybody's going to answer this one?
Once again, I would just guess 25% or less in an actual office.
Yeah, and again, Jeremy, this is something you're doing more and more right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, the answers are in, and you're right. 18% said yes, 82% said no. So, folks, these are some takeaways that we're going to be able to share, and Jeremy is going to get into some of his top success strategies in today's market. So, Jeremy, I'm going to kind of reverse your realtor questions right back at you. Mm-hmm. How are you having success in today's market? And let's be sure to include some of the open house strategies and realtor office.
Sure. So where I'm having the most success, hands down, in the marketplace is leveraged activities. Okay, so I'm trying to do, 2 to 3 leveraged activities every single week. So what is a leveraged activity? That's an activity where I can have an audience of more than one person at a time. Okay, so let me give you an example of this week, for example. Okay, so yesterday I had a luncheon in my office where I brought in one of my best realtor partners, insurance agent, and a banker that I refer all of our equity lines to, so everyone could meet each other. It cost me $40 for sandwiches, and we all got to network for 45 minutes, and I closed it with, I'm so glad that you guys could all come. I know that we're all busy, but the great people always need to know great people, so let me know if there's anything else I can do for you guys, and is there any clients that you guys have right now, that really have some needs that I could call on this week. I am really looking, to call on at least 4 more people this week to see if I can help them. Do you guys have anyone? I mean, you close, have a call to action at the end of it. So that was yesterday. Today, as soon as I get off this call, I am driving 45 minutes from here, and I am leading a realtor coaching series where we meet every 2 weeks, where I am coaching these agents. It's a group of 5. We meet for an hour, have them fill out forms, homework, the whole 9. Okay, so I'm meeting with them every other week, and they have been a great source of referrals for me, and I'm invested in their success as well. And I'm hard on them. This isn't like Mickey Mouse coaching. I mean, there are fines if they don't do their homework. They owe me $100 every time they don't complete something 100% to my favorite charity. I mean, you name it, I'm doing it. So tomorrow on Wednesday. So Wednesday I have a realtor presentation for a caravan for about anywhere from 40 to 50 agents, where I get to present for 15 minutes. All right, huge leveraged activity there, and my goal there is to just connect with as many people as possible. At the end, shake their hands, gather cards with the people that I don't know, and follow up with the people I do know who they are, but we don't work with yet, and schedule a one-on-one appointment. And then on Thursday, I am throwing a happy hour for a big realtor over in Oakland, where it's all of his database. I did the Evite form from him. I got his whole list, and I'm teaching him how to hold these events, and I'm co-sponsoring it. So 50-50, we're splitting it. Hors d'oeuvres, this, that, and the other. There's going to be about 40 people there again. Once again, opportunity to meet a bunch of people. I'm valuable to the agent, and I get to follow up for one-on-one appointments or leads. On Sunday, I am doing an open house with an agent on a listing that's supposed to generate a lot of traffic that she is having a hard time selling because of the price point, not because it's too high, but because it's high-end in a market that doesn't have a big high-end a lot of inventory on the high end, or really any for that matter. So it's going to take a special buyer. So what are we doing? We're doing a party. We're catering it. We've been marketing to the neighbors for the neighbors to come between 11 and 1 before the open house, so everyone can get a chance to see the home and what's going on in their neighborhood, and we can get to know them. What does that do for an agent? Generates more visibility, creates exclusivity to the neighborhood. The neighbors really feel loved on, allows them to talk, allows the agent to talk with them about moving in the future. What are your plans in the neighborhood? Do you like what's going on in the neighborhood as far as who's moving in? How long have you been here? Are you looking to sell and downsize at any point in the future? Are you looking to relocate? I mean, there's all different types of questions that can come from breaking bread with these people. So that gives you just an idea of what I'm doing on a weekly basis. And at the end of the day, it's getting out of your cave, getting out of your office, going out, meeting people, and really just connecting with people so you have the opportunity to meet with them one-on-one at a later date.
Love it. Leveraged activities, open houses. Want to remind everybody with Edge Mobile, by the way, Jeremy, are you going to the open houses? Are you spending time there with the realtor?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I think it's a waste to just, and I see a lot of people do that. Like, why would you just buy food and send it? Like, that's ridiculous. Number one, most agents are really bad at actually picking up leads. So it's your job to be there and really maximize that time. And I know a lot of people say, oh, I can't believe you work in open houses. Listen, you can coach your agents on how to make their open houses set apart. What do I mean by that? I'm only doing about one open house a weekend in a month. So I'm only doing about one open house in a weekend in a month, but I'm doing about 4 every single month. Well, that doesn't make sense, Jeremy. Here's the deal. There are a number of different ways to do an open house, and I like to try to coach my agents on, hey, let's do something fun. Let's see if we can let's do a Thursday night twilight open house. And let's get, the neighborhood involved, and let's have people come over, and let's have whatever it may be, a root beer tasting, and have kids that they can come in as well. And they love that. They're like, oh, that's so awesome. That's so different. And selfishly, why do I like doing that? I don't have to go out on a Sunday. So it creates value. It gives them different ideas. Also, brokers opens. Brokers opens are my favorite. I do those more than I actually do open houses, because a brokers open is an open house for who? For the brokers, for real estate agents. So it's important to meet with consumers that come in as well, but at the end of the day, if I could meet with 12, 40 agents that come through, shake their hand, get their card, introduce myself, say, hey, I'd like to follow up with you, and get an appointment one-to-one, asking for an appointment face-to-face and being really confident, most people won't say no, even if they don't want to meet with you. Okay, it's awesome. I love it. They could look you in the eyeball. You're looking at them. Maybe I look intense, who knows, but they never say no. Okay, and third is, I would say, don't be cheap, but you don't have to spend a ton of money. So the picture that you see on there, like that was a large spread that I did. It still only cost me $200. But if you don't want to spend $200, you could just cut that spread in half and spend $100. Or you could cut it in half again and just have one tray and spend $40. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but make sure you're getting good stuff as well. It only helps you, makes you look good, makes you look valuable. So anyhow, Dave, as far as a strategy on the open house stuff, also don't think negative immediately and go, oh, I don't want to work on the weekends. Then don't. You see, you can make your own way. There is nothing stopping any one of us for making our own way and being a thought leader. Remember, I opened this call and said people want to be led. Okay, think differently. We don't get paid for doing loans. We get paid for how we think, and we should all be really, really conscious of that.
Yeah, and by the way, I've been hearing this more and more from Mortgage Coach members. You can also just bring a case of water. I mean, realtors want water. People going through the homes want water. So if you want to keep it low cost, bring a case of water. Do recommend that you have an iPad open with an Edge report just as a conversation starter around mortgage options, so that when you do get into a detailed conversation, you can do some story selling with the Edge app. And Jeremy, I know you've got some strategy and you've got a success story around how you've leveraged this in realtor offices. I don't know if you're leveraging the mobile app and having conversations in open houses, but if you could share some of the ways that you're using Edge in the field and some of the stories that you have, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. So yes, we do bring. I bring my iPad with me, and I have it readily available when I'm doing a broker's open and/or an open house. Usually with a sheet that was made for that actual open house. So that way the numbers match up and people can actually see tangible. Here's what you can get. Now, as far as doing presentations in a realtor's office, dude, this is a huge opportunity, Dave. And I did it on accident a couple months ago, and then it just like bling, dawned on me. It was like, why am I not doing this? So, oftentimes how the lead flow works is that you have a person, they refer you the lead, and then the realtor refers you the lead, and then you call them, and they either do over the phone, do a loan application, or they fill it out online, and then or they meet you in your office. But there's never any tripod type connection where you and the realtor are in the same place at the same time with the consumer. And so a couple months ago, I had a realtor ask me, hey, Gabby really would love to meet you in person. And I didn't have an office in this city where this individual lived. And I noticed on my calendar she was going to drive 45 minutes to come meet with me in my office. And I thought, gosh, hey, you know what? Why don't I just meet you in Renee's office? That's only like 5 minutes from your house. And she was like, great. So I met her in her office. Renee was there because she had to let me in. I got to use the conference room, and I literally got to do the full mortgage coach presentation, quote-unquote video, but I was live with her and the agent in there, and a light bulb went off. I went, oh, my gosh, I need to be doing this more and more. Couple reasons why. Number one, it's awesome to get face-to-face with people, but it's even more awesome to be able to do it in a leveraged activity. And here's how it was leveraged. It was leveraged from the standpoint that the people, the realtor got to see you really in your zone as a professional. Here is how the presentation goes to your client. Please sit in. If you have questions, bring it up. Number two, I got to do 2 face-to-face appointments versus either 1 or 0 face-to-face appointments. Face-to-face appointments will always gain you the most trust and make it easier to gain more referrals from people. Now, number 3, and this is really the secret sauce, and so I've been doing this now as much as I can. I'm doing it today as well with another client in a realtor's office, is that guess who sits around in realtor offices, Dave?
Realtors?
Realtors!
Whoa.
Like literally, you're in a conference room, right? People will be walking by sometimes. They're like, who's that? Wait, what's he doing in there? And they're all curious, and it allows me to go out, and I can shake people's hands. I can introduce myself. I mean, why would we not all be doing this? And I think that a lot of it was ego for me, and just in general, is that we want to be seen as a professional. They can come to me. Well, who cares about that? Let's go to where they, A, want to meet, but B, let's make it work for us. Let's make a leveraged activity out of this, create some more trust, and be able to meet some more people when normally you can't just walk into a real estate office, right? I mean, you can, but most real estate offices are closed around here, meaning they have an in-house lender, and you can't just walk in and meet people, shake hands, pass out cards, flyers. You can't do that. So this gives you an opportunity to literally bunny hop over the gatekeeper and allows you to introduce yourself as almost a friend, and that is very, very, very powerful.
Love it, man. So let me tie a few things together for everybody. So Jeremy is not just telling people that he's going to help them close more business. I mean, he's doing it, and he's got a great sales experience. Exactly how is he doing it? He's delivering a mortgage coach experience. Again, I think the innovation and the big share here, although we have 18% of you already doing this, I say let's do it more intentionally, where we do these meetings in the office, and then we're still providing the email with the report so that, the other person who was not in the office, let's face it, there's always a couple people involved in the mortgage decision, they're all getting it. And so when they click on it, whether they click on it from their desktop from their iPad, from their iPhone, from their Android device, they're getting the mortgage options, and they're getting them in this detailed way. And the realtor's getting them. And let's face it, from the time that you first quote them a rate and you provide mortgage options from the time that they buy, things change. So now you're always looping in the realtor, so the realtor knows exactly what you quoted. You're sending a reminder if it's a new realtor that you're not working with. You're putting them in the loop too. So the realtor gets this mortgage advice. Regardless of where you presented it originally, everybody who's in the loop understands what's happening. Again, everybody on this call, you all have edge. You all can do everything that Jeremy's doing. So I want to, one, pass out a few assignments, and then Jeremy just kind of help me, drive this home. Partner with a realtor at an open house. And don't wait. Do it this weekend, or to Jeremy's point, schedule something for Thursday. Do something unique. Make sure you create a TCA Edge experience in a realtor's office this week. Look for opportunities to go out and get out there in the field and deliver this information. And again, I want to make sure everybody on this call, because you come to these calls every week, I want to make sure this Todd Duncan total cost selling script really hits home. And some of the other scripts Jeremy shared today, we're going to document those, and we're going to make those available in our Mortgage Coach community group on LinkedIn. So we're going to provide those for you guys. We're all here to help you. Make sure if you don't know how to do, the purchase options report, come to our Thursday call. This Thursday at 9 o'clock Pacific, Jacob and team will be showing you how to set up templates. If you're on this call and you don't have a template for whatever your 3 most common loan comparisons are, you got to get a template created. Whatever you're doing the most, it shouldn't take you more than a minute or two. By the way, Jeremy, how long does it take you to typically create a mortgage coach analysis for a client?
Including video?
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes. That's to get the rate, plug in all the numbers, as well as record a video.
Got it. So 5 minutes, and you've got this amazing experience that not only delivers options, makes you unique, makes you different, makes you valuable, but it integrates the realtor so that you're doing something unique and valuable for your clients each and every time. Again, every Tuesday at 9 o'clock we're here. Every Thursday at 9 o'clock we're doing a training. And if you're new and you've done less than 20 TCAs, come to our Friday basic training. So Jeremy and Michael, as we wrap up today's call, any parting thoughts or words of wisdom to just kind of hit it home today?
I was just going to say about, Jeremy, that's a great idea about the TCAs at the real estate office. And I think there's probably some loan officers. I'm thankful I have an office space, but I think there's a lot of loan officers on the queue that are probably working from home or work from home often, and they think they have to meet people at Starbucks. And I think it's a fantastic idea for them to almost take advantage of that tool. One thing I was going to add to that is I'm just curious, do you ask while you're at the office, hey, is there a friendly competitor that you're top-notch with here in the office? Do you actually ask for a referral of other agents while you're there, or do you kind of hold off on that since you're trying to make it about them?
Yeah, I have not asked that question. Usually I'm just walking through with, like in this last example, Renee, as she's walking me out, and I'm just walking really slow and getting people to look at me.
Okay.
And then saying, hey, how you doing? I'm Jeremy. And just introducing myself.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's more of what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do recommend a lot of real estate offices. Well, actually, I don't know exactly how many, but they'll have some type of computer screen set up there so you can, hook up your laptop into it. Jeremy, have you done that, or are you pretty much just working on your laptop?
I'm just working on my laptop in the actual office.
Do any of the offices actually have screens that you could hook into and blow it up a little bit?
Yeah, they absolutely they do, and that's a great idea. I should take advantage of that.
Yeah, I recommend you do. I do a lot of presenting in offices, so I'm always ready to hook into anything I have. Yeah.
Hey, what I do is I bring my Apple TV with me when I do presentations at any real estate office, and that way I can walk around the room no matter how big the room is. Usually they have almost all offices now have a TV screen. So I'll just hook up the Apple TV and hook up to their Wi-Fi about 10 minutes before everything starts, and then that way anything I have on my iPad I can immediately put on the screen.
Boom. I think that's big. Jeremy, why don't you What do you think of that? Is that something you would add to your arsenal and consider?
Yeah, I just have to practice it first.
Yeah, it's a $99,
I like
$99 device, so it's pretty cheap.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways of making it big. Let's just make the commitment. Again, you don't have to make it big. Just come in with your iPad, your laptop, and deliver a mortgage experience, not just a rate quote, not just a pre-qual. Deliver a mortgage experience. We'll continue to bring you more ideas as this evolves. Michael, I like how you're making it big. And again, it's just all about the wow. It's all about differentiating yourself, delivering wow. And again, the key word of the day is leveraged experiences. Jeremy, you get the final words. You're the big dog on today's call. Any final thoughts?
No, man, just kill it. Use what you got and use it more.
I love it. So everybody, thanks for joining us on today's call. Hopefully it was valuable. This has been recorded. Will be on our YouTube page within a couple hours. And remember to check out the notes. Again, this is Dave Savage, CEO of Mortgage Coach. Thanks again for being here. And Jeremy and Michael, really appreciate the value you brought to today's call. As you check out and leave the call, let us know on a good to great scale what you thought of today's call. And we'll see you all next week, Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock Pacific. Every Tuesday, we're here to deliver value and advice. Take care, everybody. Have a great week.